Well, starting it off, Homestead officer lives in my neighborhood about 8 houses down from me, Officer Alejandro Murguido, who has a history of driving recklessly. I had seen drive in a reckless manner in my neighborhood, running me and other people off the road, running through stop signs at 20 or 30 miles an hour. So one day I asked him if he would drive respectfully and obey the law, being concerned that I have small children and there's other small children in the neighborhood. Obviously that upset him and I disrespected his authority, and he later came and chased me down. 12 cops came, held me for an hour and a half, searched me. And after that, I waited for a couple months and I went to file a complaint. I called Internal Affairs for Homestead and left a message with my name and contact. After that, a month later, IA told the cop that I was trying to file against him and told him to file against me. Then IA waited another month after he filed before returning my phone call. Because of all this, Miami-Dade ended up coming to my house 6 months after the original incident and arrested me for aggravated stalking a police officer and corruption through threats.
What year was that?
That was April 2014.
Okay, so since then, you've been going to the city council meetings at Homestead, you've been speaking out against...
Since then, I've been going to the city council meetings at Homestead, and I've been speaking out, trying to expose the corruption in the police department and with Chief Roll. I also made a YouTube video showing Chief Roll's crimes, which he retaliated against me for. And so I was going back to the meetings to let the council know what was going on in their police department. And last month, I started chastising Councilman Elvis Maldonado because he was talking about me behind my back in public. And I was just asking him, you know, if he had something to say to me, to say it to my face.
Now, just to let the readers know, the viewers know, they give you 3 minutes to speak at the council, which I guess you signed up for.
Yes, sir.
And you were speaking, and they cut you off.
I was
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I was about 2.5 minutes into my 3-minute speech, and Sergeant Wright came over and asked me to leave. So I left, and we walked out of the building. When he got me to the back of the chambers, he told me to have a good one. I turned and walked out. I told him to have a good one too, because I was going to sue the shit out of his dumb ass. Because of that, he then chased me down and detained me and said he didn't like me disrespecting him, and he had not disrespected me. And I asked him not to violate my First Amendment rights, to which he responded, he did not violate my First Amendment rights, but he would if I wanted him to. I wasn't aware if I had been trespassed from the building or not, so I went back to City Council last night to go talk and see if I'd been trespassed. As soon as I got in the building, Wright came up and told me I was trespassed, asked me to leave, so I walked out of the building. I left. I was walking back to my car, and Wright and other officers were taunting me and then said that the trespass also included the parking lot. While I was continuing to walk out, I turned to them and told them that I was leaving, and I gave Officer Wright the bird. Because of that, they decided to then come and arrest me for disorderly conduct and trespass, and I got to spend about the last...
Demonstrate to us exactly what you did.
So I'm walking, and he's talking, and I turn, and I give him the bird, and I turn back, and I continue to walk, and then...
Which, you know, in case people do not know or they're not aware, numerous court cases have already affirmed that it is a First Amendment right to flip off a police officer or a public official.
Exactly.
That is not against the law.
And in the landmark Supreme Court case from the Supreme Court of the United States is Hill v. Houston, which says the right to verbally oppose or question police action without thereby threatening or without being threatened with arrest is one of the key characteristics we use to distinguish a free nation from a police state. Obviously, Homestead likes the police state.
So then what happened?
So then they came and they put cuffs on me and started walking to the other side of the parking lot so I could be transported to the station. At this time, probably 30 to 40 officers had walked out, were pointing at me, were laughing, were taunting me, making comments. I've been busting their butt a lot for a while on the police forum and on Facebook and at the city council meetings. So me being a thorn in their side, exposing their corruption, they decided they would retaliate. And the saying they like to say is, you might beat the rap, but you won't beat the ride. So I got to take a nice ride down to TGK, the county jail here in Miami-Dade, and I was arrested at 5:30 last night and got out about 1 o'clock this afternoon, even after bonding out.
So on the arrest report, how did they describe your actions?
On the arrest report, the officer claims that he had informed me that I was trespassing the building and from the parking lot, and I understood that, and I began to leave. And after taking about 15 steps, I stopped, I turned around, I used my left hand to grab my genitals, I used my right hand to give him the bird, and I screamed, "Fuck you." And they're saying that there was 4 women in the parking lot who stopped to witness this, so therefore I breached the peace. I'm not sure how they saw 4 women in the course of this 1 or 2 second interaction when the human eye can only focus 4 times per second. Again, it's more lies. Also in their arrest report, they're saying that they had told me that I was arrested or trespassed from the parking lot as well, even though they did not tell me that till later. And my video that I was live streaming proves that they lied on their arrest affidavit, which is par for the course with Homestead. Every Homestead officer I've dealt with so far, including the chief and IA, when they write their reports, they've perjured themselves and falsified
Okay,
them.
so just to be clear, you stopped the video recording, unfortunately, after you left the building, and then they came up to you, and so did you grab your genitals?
I did not grab my genitals.
Did you say, fuck you?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did you flip them off?
I did flip them off. The interesting thing, though, is I was holding my phone in my right hand, and I flicked them off with my left hand. But they're saying I flicked them off with my right hand and grabbed the genitals with my left. We're working on getting the surveillance video from City Hall now, which will show that that's a complete lie.